Hello. Welcome to The Curious Cook. I am Lady Gaga.
Just kidding, it's me, Athena, and this is our Halloween episode.
And I'm the Green Lantern. Just kidding, it's Jace. Today on the Halloween episode, we'll be making spooky marshmallows.
And we have the Hemseth brothers, Matthew and Brian, coming. They are costume designers. They work on SNL, One Life to Live, Sesame Street.
And also, we're looking for submissions from our viewers to feature recipes on our website. So if you have a favorite recipe, send it in and we'll post it.
I can't believe we're making marshmallows from scratch, so let's get started.
Welcome to the recipe portion of the Halloween episode of The Curious Cook.
I've never made marshmallows from scratch before.
It's super simple, and in fact, every time I'm home, my little sister and I make marshmallows together. So if she can do it, we can do it, anyone can do it. The first thing we need to do is spray this pan with our non-stick spray.
Like that?
Exactly like that. Very gently, liberally. Interesting note on that, it's really good for adding glisten on a photo shoot to your
Are you
muscles.
serious?
Yeah, I've been on a number of shoots where I've been sprayed with paint.
Wow. Do you rub it in?
Yeah, just on the muscles, so it'll bring out that tone.
Oh yeah, that is really sexy.
Like the tone? So now that Athena and our pan are thoroughly lubed, we can move on to our next step, which is preparing our non-stick powdery coating. So right here we have a 1/4 cup of confectioner's sugar, a 1/4 cup of cornstarch, and a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder, which Athena will sift together.
I love sifting. Tell me again why we sift.
We sift to get the lumps out of things and to mix things into a lovely homogeneous mixture.
What would happen if I didn't sift?
If you didn't sift, we'd get lumps in it, and there'd be lumps of cornstarch on the marshmallows, and it just wouldn't be bueno.
Would the world end?
It wouldn't necessarily end.
Are you sure?
Not if I can help it. See those big old lumps?
Yeah.
So you can just kind of push it through there.
Oh, you are my savior, Jace.
I try. All right, and now hold your sifter over that pan, and we're going to sift it back in.
Can I eat it right now?
You could. It'd be a little chalky. Probably wouldn't taste so great. Just gently move it around. There you go. Next, we will bloom the gelatin. And that,
I've never heard that term. What does it mean?
blooming just means allowing the gelatin to soak up all the moisture in the water. Because if you added a hot liquid straight to gelatin, it would clump, it would be uneven, and it wouldn't gel properly. So what I have here is a 1/2 cup of cold water going straight into the bowl of our mixer. And to bloom, I've always been taught to very gently sprinkle the gelatin over the top. So not all at once, just gently.
And you have to spread it out. You can't just put it in one corner of the bowl.
You don't want like a big lump of it, or else like the outside gelatin will absorb that moisture and form like a big dry pocket of offal in the inside. And nobody likes big dry pockets of offal.
No, I don't like offal.
I don't know. I'm not into it.
No.
Next step in marshmallow making for superheroes and Lady Gaga impersonators is to make the syrup. And for that, I need a big, heavy bottom saucepan. Always heavy bottom for making syrups and candies. Remember that. And to this, we're gonna add 1/2 cup of water, 1.5 cups of white refined sugar. Really works best for this recipe. You could use organic or raw, but this is really the way to go. And it's Halloween.
It's Halloween.
All pretensions out the window. So 1.5 cups of white refined sugar. And finally, 1 cup of corn syrup. Again,
This is really bad for you too, corn syrup.
It's really bad. It is the organic version, but it's still probably not the best for you.
I think it creates insulin, but it's Halloween.
It's Halloween. Everything in moderation. You're not going to be making these all the time. Just once a year and just until you have a bellyache.
Right.
Right. So then we'll take our syrup back over to the stove, and we're going to wait until that comes up to 240 degrees, also known as softball stage. I'm going to give this to you. And will you measure out 1/2 cup?
Mm-hmm.
If you hold the cup, I'll pour the water very gently. Throw that in there. And then plus 2 tablespoons. And this is 1/3 cup of cocoa powder. But now that our cocoa powder is mixed, we can add that to our mixer here.
Okay.
Après vous.
Just pour it in.
Just pour it on in.
It's bloomed.
Yep, the gelatin has bloomed.
The gelatin has bloomed.
And now we're going to mix these two together for just a moment. We're going to very carefully stream this into the KitchenAid mixer while it's mixing on low at first. And then once all the syrup is in there, we can turn it up to high and let it whip for about 12 minutes or until the bowl is cool to the touch. And then it'll be ready to go into our prepared pan. So add 1 pinch of salt. And if you will, hold this, my dear. Just pour it out into here, and then we'll spread it evenly.
Wow.
So now that it's in our prepared pan, we can sift this over the top, and then we'll let it set for 6 hours, or preferably overnight until it firms up a lot. All right, so this is the vanilla version of this recipe. So I just omitted the cocoa powder and the water that I reconstituted in and replaced that with vanilla extract in the mixture and vanilla powder in the powder mixture. But what we are gonna do is cut out ghosts for Halloween. I saved the chocolate for the bats and the white for the ghosts. Makes sense, right?
Total sense.
All right, so just firm, even pressure. Get a little bit of that powder on the edges. I'm gonna grab a plate here. If you would like to extricate that ghost from his hollow brethren.
Do I just rip this?
Yeah, you can just rip right through it.
And then...
Ta-da! Oh. Lovely little ghost mallow. And yeah, we'll be ready for our guests. Happy Halloween, everybody. Athena and I have donned our most wonderful costumes for our lovely guests, Brian and Matthew Hemseth. Welcome, guys.
Hello. How are you? Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, little monsters. Thank you. Thank you for coming to our show.
Would you like a Halloween-themed marshmallow?
Yes.
Chocolate bat?
Spooky.
And you're both brothers and costume designers, which is fascinating to me. How do two brothers become costume designers?
We had to get out of Iowa.
So at what point did you say, designing costumes in New York is how I'm going to stop milking cows?
I would say about 4. I just got out first. I dealt with the details later.
You guys work together on a lot of projects, or mostly stick to your own things? Or when you do work together, how does that go?
We sort of have a balance of our own projects, and we come together.
On Saturday Night Live.
Oh.
And we worked on the Andy Samberg Lonely Island digital shorts, which is where we met Gaga. I designed for Sesame Street. Just the people, not the puppets.
When you both first moved to New York, I mean, if you were to give advice to a young, aspiring costume designer, what would you say should be the first thing they do when they get to New York or LA or Chicago?
Don't say no to any project.
Be nice to everyone.
Because you never know who is going to be the person that is the connection to the job that gets you to the next level.
Your intern today could be your boss tomorrow. So
It happens.
All right, so we have a little game to play with Brian and Matt. We'll be decorating these lovely, fresh out of the patch pumpkins. But because you're in the creative fields, we need to even the playing field, and we'll be doing it blindfolded.
Oh, shucks, mister.
And then we'll have our guests, our viewers on YouTube judge and tell us who did the best. Are you gentlemen ready?
I'm ready.
And lady?
I'm ready. I'm
Everybody?
gonna
Bring it
win.
on. Yee.
I'm scared. It's dark in here.
I'm making mine like
Oh, are we?
evil.
Well, that only...
Oh, Gaga.
Gentlemen, lady, we're ready to take a look. So with the reveal.
Oh,
Oh, I did really
not bad.
Hey.
I'm pretty happy. Let's see.
Holy crap!
That's good.
That's excellent.
it does look a little bit like Bette Midler, I gotta say.
I thought it was gonna be a
I got
disaster.
nothing. Thank you so much, Brian and Matt, for coming on the show. And if you want to find out more about these strapping young gentlemen, you can just Google them, find them on IMDb, look out for their next project on the big screen or the small screen, or on Broadway.
It could happen.
We're everywhere.
Look out.